Hello, this is Michael Bartley. I'm gonna today sharpen the Solid Technics Usudeba. It's about time that it gets touched up. It is a single bevel knife, and I know there's an Inversion Pro sharpening system from Solid Technics, but I just wanted to show you how I sharpen them on regular stones if you don't have that. Right here I have two stones that I'll use today, both by Sharpening Pro. This one is a 1500 grit stone and the green one is an 8000 grit stone for finishing. So these are just splash and go stones, so all I have to do is put a little water on them to get them going. So I'm going to do that right now. You always want to make sure your stones are nice and flat. I had done that the last time I was done sharpening, so they're ready to go. So I just put a little water on it, and we're going to start off on the back end and do what's called a little uro-oshi sharpening. You want to put it flat on the stone, and you're only going to want to put pressure when you're moving forward and then nothing back. Forward, nothing back. And you'll want to do this for the length of the knife. And what we're doing here is getting rid of any wire edge that may be on that back side. And I don't spend a lot of time on it, so that was enough. And now we're going to move to this side. So you want to put the knife, pressure down. So now we're on this bevel. And we're going to want to move across the stone. And we're putting pressure when we draw the knife back, and not so much when we're pushing it forward this time. And the idea is we're taking off a little bit of metal and creating a burr or a little wire edge on the back side of the knife. And we want to make sure we've done that for the entire length. So as you can see, I'm moving my fingers and adding pressure. And you can see we're sharpening because on this stone right now you see some black material, which is partly stone grit and some of it's metal. It's called swarf. And we'll just move and then make sure, we get the tip really well. And you just want to go along till you just go across a few times. Now, obviously, if your knife is in really bad shape, you don't want to start off with this type of stone. You'll want to start off with something rougher in the 300-400 grit range. I would not take it up past 8000 really, because then your knife can do what's called running. Because the knife edge is just so smooth, it actually just runs on top of ingredients and really doesn't have much cutting power. The edge is polished and beautiful, but it's not very functional. All right, so I've done that. I'm going to run my thumbnail across the back of it. If you can hear that, that's my thumbnail running across that little wire edge. Okay? So again, we're going to go back to uro-oshi, flat on, forward only. And we're just going to go across the length a couple times. I still have a little bit of wire edge on there, so we'll just do it a little more. And you don't want to spend a lot of time on the back side of your knife. It doesn't really take much. See, now we don't hear anything. So I've taken that wire edge off, okay? So now we're done with this stone, and we're going to move on to a higher grit stone. I'm going to rinse off the knife, rinse off my hands, because you don't want to take grit from your stone and put it on a finer stone. So and again, we put water on our 8000 grit. Now this really is just for polishing the edge. It'll remove any imperfections from the previous stone. scratches, whatever, and give you a polish, but you really don't need to spend a lot of time on this at all. So this is actually a fairly quick process. So again, back side of the knife. Okay, then we're back to here. And you'll see, again, that swarf coming up as we polish the knife. And this is going to give you that real nice looking and feeling edge. Okay, now we're going to move back to the back side. Sorry, my stone's kind of slipping away from me a bit. Okay. Still a little bit of a wire edge on the back, but that's easily fixable. Okay, and then what I like to do just to help the edge last a little longer is I like adding what's called a micro bevel. So what you'll do with that is you put your knife down, and then we're just going to raise it a little bit and just kind of run that very edge on the stone a few times, not much, about like that. Then we'll hit the Oroshi one last time. And what that does is it makes your edge a little stronger, especially when cutting hard ingredients like carrots, or I've used this to break down fish and chicken as well. It's a great knife. It does everything quite well. I mean, don't cut frozen foods. Obviously, you don't want to hack through a big old cow bone with it or anything, but all in all, this has been a fantastic knife for your everyday workhorse chef's knife. And I've had no problems cutting large ingredients like cabbages or anything like that. So again, I'm just going to hit that micro bevel just one last time, a couple little swipes just to even out the edge. Hit the Oroshi one last time. And that feels pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse off the knife here and rinse off the stones. We're going to dry it off real quick. And then what you can do is kind of admire the edge for a second. I'm going to grab a little bit of magazine paper to see how she cuts. And after just a few minutes of this, you should have a fresh, clean edge that's ready to start cutting anything you need. And we look pretty good. It's kind of crinkled up magazine paper, but she cuts nice and smooth. Even your edges and everything. So she's ready to go. So that's how I sharpen them up on the just regular traditional stones. This is Michael, and thank you for watching.